Free speech was never safe until America declared independence in 1776. This included freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and the right to assemble, all under the justification of a national emergency. Today, many European nations have emergency laws that grant sweeping powers to governments during crises. For instance, France's state of emergency laws from 2015 to 2017 were enacted after terrorist attacks, restricting public assembly and increasing surveillance powers. And in Hungary, the 2020 emergency law granted Prime Minister Viktor Orban's government the power to rule by decree indefinitely during the COVID-19 crisis, drawing criticism from the European Union. While these laws are not identical to the Reichstag fire decree, they highlight a concerning trend: governments increasing their powers during crises at the cost of civil liberties. Under Nazi Germany, the Reich Ministry of Public Enlightenment and Propaganda, led by Joseph Goebbels, controlled the press, radio, literature, and even art. Any dissenting voices were silenced and opposition newspapers were banned. Today, governments are enacting increasingly strict regulations on media. In Germany, the group Hate Aid, promoted by CBS 60 Minutes, declares that free speech needs boundaries. Online insults are criminal because they are out there for all to see. Retweeting an offensive post is also a crime. According to a recent 60 Minutes interview with German prosecutors, the German constitution determines what speech is criminal, as well as what constitutes insulting a politician. Gossip is also worthy of criminal penalty. The piece showed enforcement agents akin to the SS in the days of old, raiding citizens' homes, making charges and declaring judgments and penalties on sight. German hate speech laws are strict, including fees and even jail time. Especially sensitive topics are Holocaust denial, Nazi glorification, and speech on race, ethnicity, religion, or nationality. Nowhere does it state that political figures are protected. However, the 60 Minutes piece brings up a politician who supported Merkel's immigration policies. Apparently, for 4 years, the politician suffered insults online and threats to his life, eventually leading to his murder. The question comes to mind: if a political figure is being threatened with violence, why aren't the authorities notified? That is not an example of hate speech, but an intent to murder someone. Also interesting is the complete freedom for press and art from hate speech. Who determines what I say does not fall under these criteria. The UK's Online Safety Act of 2023 aims to combat harmful content, but has sparked concerns about suppressing free speech. The European Union's Digital Services Act of 2022 requires social media platforms to remove misinformation, but critics argue it risks state-controlled narratives. While these laws address important concerns, they also open the door to subjective censorship, much like how the Nazi regime framed its control as protecting society. The Nazi regime made opposition parties illegal through the law against the formation of new parties in 1933, effectively making Germany a one-party state. Today, some European countries have seen restrictions on political movements. Spain's 2017 crackdown on Catalan independence leaders, where leaders were arrested for organizing an independence referendum. Germany's proposed ban on the far-right AfD party, which, while targeting extremism, raises concerns about outlawing political opposition. In October 2024, the United Kingdom arrested and fined a British Army veteran for praying within 50 feet of an abortion clinic. After being questioned about the nature of his prayer, the veteran replied he was praying for his son. The UK court system convicted him and charged him almost $12,000. Once again, in defense of abortion, Scotland passed the Abortion Services Act, which could hold people in violation if they pray inside their own homes, if they cause harassment of abortion staffers. No one is even allowed to hand out medical information within 200 feet of abortion facilities. We must also understand Nazi Germany took great steps to curb religious practices while they were or executed. The Nazis sought to bring churches under state control through organizations like the Reich Church. History doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it often rhymes. The measures taken in Nazi Germany to suppress freedoms were extreme, But even in today's democratic Europe, we see similar mechanisms justified under different contexts. If the Nazi regime started in the age of the internet, it is no doubt they would welcome the measures of Europe in regard to free speech and prayer today. Are we witnessing a necessary response to modern threats, or a gradual erosion of the freedoms that democracy stands for? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share and subscribe for more historical analysis.